Hello, is this Instant Camping here with a new stream? In this stream, I'm going to be going over the event week for this week. That started on like very early Thursday in Craft Online. I am pretty belated with this one though. I'm doing it on like early Monday, whatever. But yeah, that's just because I like holidays, like New Year's, even day, and all that. So yeah, it's been busy and stuff. So I'm doing this on a Monday here. But either way, I'll be going over the stuff here. Starting off here on the main menu here, Fest Surprise. One of the like clothing stuff you can get is like the New Year's glasses. And yeah, I believe there is a brand new beer hat as well. I think they also did that like around like Christmas, even like Christmas Day and stuff as well. You're pretty much just going to get cosmetic stuff, nothing too huge really, besides for your like ammo and like armor, typical stuff as well. Should pop up sometime when I get on though. We have Powersurge. That will be the brand new vehicle edition here. It is actually an electric motorcycle. I believe it's actually the very first electric motorcycle in the entire game. That's for what I've heard, at least. There has not previously been an electric motorcycle, so it's pretty unique. Yeah, apparently also it's the most powerful like engine of the game, which doesn't mean it's going to be like your number one top speed of the entire game or anything. I'm just saying it's the number one engine according to Bruffy1322. According to this video I watched on the Powersurge, it's like the most powerful engine in the game now. But also has a pretty high like drag value as well, so that kind of limits its capabilities. So yeah, it's not really going to be your like number one top speed or anything. What you already wouldn't expect anyways, given it's an electric motorcycle. Electric cars and stuff don't tend to be that great for top speed apparently. So that's just some initial impressions. I might talk a little more about it from Bruffy1322. I will not have performance to go over though, because he didn't test it, because snow and then a trip and stuff, so I'll just give my impressions of performance stuff and whatnot, and all that. Talk some more stuff from Bruffy1322 as well. We have Fulgen rewards. You apparently can call and accept the request Fulgen jobs, and then there's different rare clothing things you can unlock over time. I'll be sure to mention all that at some point. A reminder on all that stuff. For some reason they felt the need to promote more of the subscription to me, probably because I haven't been getting it and whatnot. I don't know. The Powersurge, you will find that on Legendary Motorsport, as I've shown on like the leak video I did. But yeah. This part here, by the way, goes for the next 2 weeks, but everything else I think pretty much goes for 1 week. So I think this is the only part that goes for longer than the 1 week. Besides for some of the festive stuff like snow and stuff, that might also be a 2 week thing as well. But like pretty much any event stuff besides for this will basically be 1 week, so keep that in mind. And some of the rare clothing things you can unlock include the ice vinyl cut jackets, black and white Bigness ski masks, Alice smoking jackets, and more. Or not jackets, but jacket and more. Clothing accessories will be awarded and distributed within 70 hours of login after January 10th. But yeah, I don't really feel like talking about it any longer and stuff, so I'll probably go over like the numbers you have to hit and whatnot, because they don't really share those here. Completing your first Fulgen job during the like 2 week thing here will get you to Ice Final. and ice final cut jackets. So that'll be your first two listed there. You just have to do one for those first two. Completing 10 during the 2 weeks will get you both black and white thickness ski masks. So that's how you get the masks. And then last but not least, complete 25 Hogan jobs to receive the LS smoking jacket. But man, those cooldowns are so fucking long. They're fucking 48-minute cooldowns per mission. Once you complete a mission, you literally have to wait 48 minutes in real life time. So yeah, you should probably play something else during that time, or just play some other content in GTA Online. So yeah, it's going to be quite the long thing to go for. So make sure you keep a lot of time dedicated to this kind of thing if you want to hold the clothing stuff for some reason. They don't mention this one, it seems, but yeah. All players who purchase or already own the equipment upgrade for the Acid Lab will get the yellow SN Rooster Revere color party shirt. That will be if you own the equipment upgrade for your Acid Lab. And for that one, you can have already owned it. As far as I know, the Fulgen job stuff you have to do during the event. It doesn't count if you've done any of it before, as far as I've heard. So if you already grind a lot of these Fulgen jobs, if you're big on collecting all the clothing in the game, which I really don't recommend, but yeah. Trying to see if there's anything else here much. Okay, not really. So I'll probably mention the rest of it all in the Fulgen job section too. It's not really much of a way to prove it much in game besides for this, I guess, here, but yeah. Plus sidekicks, you also complete free Fulgen jobs as an associate or bodyguard, so basically if you help other people with free Fulgen jobs, you will receive a bonus of $100,000 deposited within 72 hours of completion, so free real life days essentially after completing. So there's 100,000 you can earn if you help people out with free Fulgen jobs essentially. Not really going to be the most worthwhile, I would say. Because again, you'll have to have 40 minutes cooldowns. I'll probably be an hour and a half around there at least, to maybe 2 hours. I don't really feel it's worth it for only 100,000. And yeah, you can do them solo, and they're not necessarily that hard. It's my experience, they're not. As long as you own all the useful vehicles of the game, essentially. And here's gift here. Some of the stuff here, which didn't go in as much details in on the main menu, will be that festive beer having, was kind of mentioned earlier. Firework launcher, for some reason you don't already have that. Just New Year glasses. 20 rockets for firework launcher, full snack armor. 25 stick bomb grenade. 5 proximity mines, 10 molotovs. So you're basically in full ammo for stick bomb grenade and proximity mine, as long as you don't have the shooting range upgrade from the bunker or whatever, where if you complete a certain amount of shooting range challenges, it actually gives you a +5 to your throwable capacity, making it 30 grenades and stuff. But even if you have to increase capacity, seems you're only going to be getting 25. And yet a full armor used to be pretty nice and stuff, because there never used to be that many ways to get full armor. But I think you can now just do the supply stash from Franklin, and I think that always gives you full armor, and that's always in the game. And yeah, there's the lucky wheel and stuff, but that's on pure luck and stuff, chance and stuff. So the full armor is not as impressive anymore. You can just get it from Franklin, I think, for full armor from the supply stash again. Whereas otherwise you can only hold 10 of any type at one time or something for ammunition and stuff. So full armor you can just do Franklin supply stash, not the most useful. I think the rest of it is just older stuff. Yeah, I didn't really do that many things out here, it seems, this time around for some reason. Yeah, there's like 3 new things on here, and it's like Monday. Like, are you kidding me? I just want to used to put a lot of stuff on the what's new section, so then I won't have to go in the game for like hours on it and talk about a lot of stuff, but whatever. Okay, check on this, I guess, here. Okay, doesn't seem as much of any serious stuff going on here. Okay, I just want to make sure. I actually only kind of found out recently you can actually see this stuff like that. I just wanted to check that stuff. So I think now it's pretty much time to go into free mood, so I can go over the rest of the stuff. You know, honestly, I don't think I was paying too much attention to the clouds. As far as I've heard, the snow apparently will be going on until like January 11th or 12th. It's kind of suggested on like the Rockstar Newswire, so you might still have a long time of snow still compared to other years. Alright, yeah, still snowing, alright. Yeah, once you get off your like property, whatever, then you get the awards. So to get the awards, you have to get right off your property. Okay, gold, silver, New Year glasses, rainbow as well, actually. Oh, Holly beer hat is what it's called, apparently, for the beer hat, and just your ever typical stuff from there. So some interesting cosmetics. I definitely show some of them off for like the accessory menu and like interaction menu. But yeah, now I want to go over some time trials and stuff. Regular time trial for the week right now is Route 68. If I remember right, it kind of goes like this way and stuff. It's mostly just on like one road for the most part, given it's called Route 68, that's what you would expect. So pretty much, I would probably recommend like a top speed motorcycle, so like on 9th gen that would be your HSW Hawktail Drag. 8th gen that would pretty much be the Western Reaver. Even on 9th gen actually, the Western Reaver would be pretty good, because as far as I've heard, the Western Reaver is actually better top speed than the Drag, funnily enough. So actually the Western Reaver might be your best option regardless, but yeah, if you're on 9th gen, I would probably mainly recommend the Hawktail Drag or the Western Reaver from the contract update, or that last one there. But yeah, I definitely mainly recommend motorcycles. As long as you're really careful, I think motorcycles are definitely your better time trial options. RC Mantito time trial right now is David's Quartz. my opinion, it's definitely one of the more interesting RC Bandito time trials because it actually can get some good utilization with your jump boost, which doesn't usually get much use on the RC Bandito time trials. I think from here to here is a good time to use your like jump boost on like the Davis Quartz RC Bandito time trials. So that's a little recommendation there. Besides for that, you just gotta know how to corner on the time trial and stuff. But given it only use one vehicle, not really much advice necessary provide there on a surface level. And then yeah, HSW time trial will be east of Bonwood. So the HSW time trial is looped back to the first time trial. So this is the first of a series of like 7 or 8 HSW time trials, so it's back to the start. So I would definitely start using that new entity, like MT, whatever. I would definitely start using that one for a while, for like the next couple months probably. So I'll talk a bit about that because as I'm using it and whatnot, because I haven't necessarily spoken the most about MT just yet. Since yeah, the most I talked about it was on like day 1 of the update where everything was all fresh, not too much was known about it. And then your premium race, it'll be for the supercar class. So for 9th gen, obviously that would be any of your HSW supercars, such as that new entity MT, which is actually pretty decent for top speed. So if it's a good top speed course, your entity MT might be pretty good. But even then, I would think the HSW Devastate 8, from what I've heard, might actually still be a better top speed supercar option. So at top speed, I would say HSW Devastate 8 for 9th gen, and then if lap time, maybe something like the weaponized Ignis, I believe it would be for HSW vehicle on 9th gen, from what I remember from roughly 132. Otherwise on 8th gen, Proton Emerist, Benefactor Krieger. Yeah, Proton Emerist, Benefactor Krieger, and then like the LM87 from Colonel Enterprise. I think are your like top couple like lap time options. And yeah, top speed. I believe the Pfister 811 might still be like the king of like top speed and whatnot for your Pfister 811. Regular Devastate, I think, should still be pretty good for top speed. Maybe even your Banshee 900R should still be pretty good for a top speed option if it's a top speed related course. And yeah, that new entity MT, even the regular one, as far as I know, should be pretty decent top speed if you're on the 8th gen systems where you don't have access to HSW. But yeah. Alright, I think I'm actually going to do this export vehicle here, make sure that maybe I can get a hold of like the Weasel Plaza free mode event. I actually already got the gun, by the way. I just had to get it off stream, I believe. Yeah, I decided to get the weapon off stream, by the way. I would just like lobby hopped between like public sessions is basically your best way of going about the weapon. So I was having such bad luck on like my 2 different streams I did beforehand trying to get it. Figured I'll do off stream. But you can get it again, and I think we'll just get a wallet with like cash in it instead. So you can still get it even after the weapons, so I'm still trying to show it off if I can. But yeah, I got tired of like trying to go for it constantly. So I figured I would take matters into my own hands, just lobby hop public sessions. Where people were already in lobbies for like 20 plus minutes, obviously. Because there's multiple players in public lobbies. So that's a tip on how to get that weapon, by the way. For the Weasel Plaza, like, free mode event. I'm not sure if they specified the most, but it sounds like it might be going away for the free mode event for that. But yeah, they hinted at a gun van coming for the trip feed and stuff, so you might still be able to get it through there as like a purchase though. I think the free mode event, while it's available, at least is more for getting it for free or something. While it's available, assuming again it goes away. But yeah, I don't want this export vehicle or anything to get in the way when it comes to trying to get the free mode event. But yeah, so that's why I'm kind of getting out the way here, so it doesn't intrude with the other like free mode events that can happen. And then yeah, once I do this, then I'll probably try to get to the casino and go over to a podium vehicle and all that. I typically do. And yeah, that's why I have my Impressive Mark II out, by the way, is because I was going for the Weasel Plaza free mode event because it wasn't spawning for me on like a full stream, so I tried to do it on. So I decided to lobby hot public lobbies to finally get it. Granted, someone else already took out the enemies, but multiple people can actually get the pistol. I don't even really care for the pistol, I don't really care to take out the enemies anyways. Especially when the event doesn't like to fucking spawn for shit. I mean, if you just can worse spawning though, but still. I really cares for a mask much. I mean, I would care for the weapon personally. Alright, 5 seconds still. Alright, that's fine. Yeah. Hopefully this time no export vehicle gets in the way. Even though it's 1,000 fucking army rep levels, I want to take any export vehicle for the most part that I can. As long as it's not going to take me too much out the way. So on like an event week stream I'll do it. But maybe not on like collectible streams and stuff. And stripping pieces and stuff. And yeah. I didn't necessarily get to say kind of happy holiday kind of stuff, but hope everyone had happy holidays pretty much. And yeah, has had, I mean like past tense obviously. But yeah, got some pretty decent shit personally when it comes to gifts and shit. I got like a fucking Pac-Man fucking World Repack shiz, fucking PS1 remake or remaster, whatever the fuck that I asked for. And an even better PS5 game I got. Go for PS5 by the way. Was Final Fantasy 7. Was it Crisis Core, Final Fantasy 7 Reunion, whatever the fuck. Actually that is all PSP like remaster remake. More of a remaster I know for sure on that one from what I've heard. Because yeah, it definitely isn't as graphically enhanced and stuff as like remake was for Final Fantasy VII Remake and integrate obviously for the PS5 version. So those are like my couple PS5 games I got in there. I also got like $40 for Nintendo eShop and shit, because I get a bunch of shit on like the Wii U before fucking eShop closes down on that shit on like March some shit. That way my Wii U actually has more purpose, because most of the fucking Wii U shit's on the fucking Switch, because how bad it bombed because of Nintendo's shit marketing for it, and all that shit. And I don't feel like modding my fucking system, to be honest. So I'll just give them the fucking paper, fucking. Would hope for a sale on like first party shit on the eShop, but doubt Nintendo gives a shit for that, even on their older fucking systems. Where they don't need to necessarily be as stingy on the pricing. That's like the Switch, for example. Where they do need to, because it's a bunch of modern shit and everything. Whereas obviously Wii U's gonna have like age old ass shit, so I'm hoping for a fucking fire sale shit, but they most definitely ain't doing that shit. Still gonna want me to pay fucking $20 for a fucking digital Wii game in like 2023. I bet. But anyways, the podium vehicle here, since I was off on a tangent for a while there, talking about holidays and shit here, will be the adder. I believe it's just simply your adder from like day one of the game. Little preview on some discounts, by the way, more info on them later though. Battery body adder here will actually be your fucking podium vehicle this time around. Let me just make sure on the news wire. Alright, yeah. The regular body adder from day one of the game. At $1 million, you will save $1 million. But yeah. I'll look at performance on roughly 152 spreadsheet in case people do want like exact numbers and stuff. Because why not? Gotta have my spreadsheet reload here. From roughly 152. Roughly 152 spreadsheet, I mean. I'm not trying to suggest I own it or anything, I'm just saying, like, the one that's on my phone right now. But yeah, supercar here. Adder. But yeah, Chapati Adder. It's from day one of the game, so obviously you shouldn't expect it to be good performance, and it's not. It is an F tier for the super class, so it's an F tier supercar, very bad, from roughly 152 spreadsheet. And I will be at 52nd place at lap time at best. Even further down a little bit as well, because of the new supercars from the latest update, the drug war update. So it's even slightly worse than that. Not that was great anyways before Criminal Enterprise or anything, but yeah. 52nd place lap time, and then at best like 29th place top speed. But yeah, both of those are below average because there's still like less than 60, maybe there's like 60 supercars now, but yeah, that's pretty much below average. But yeah, it's only really a very nostalgic like day one like supercar from the game. But yeah, it's from day one of the game, so you can literally get in like story mode and stuff, so even though not really much of a point of getting it anyways. It's pretty much a waste of a garage space in GTA Online when you can just get it in story mode. Pretty interesting choice there, obviously, but not gonna be good. And yeah, got a bunch of alcohol shit, by the way, as well. Got a bunch of like margarita mixes, like strawberry, fucking lime, pineapple, peach, and jalapeno are definitely the 5. Like, 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 cordial cherries with like brandy, like V-soft brandy in it, I think. Shit's good as fuck. Gonna definitely be having another one after stream. Didn't want one before, because then my throat would probably be hella fucked and shit. I got all four of the Mountain Dew hard seltzers, one of each, which is pretty cool. So that would be regular. That'd be regular watermelon, black cherry, and like the Baja Blast, like hard seltzers, those Mountain Dew, like alcohol things of lately. I'm in one of those states that carries them. My state is actually cool and shit, kind of. But yeah, anyways, before I go on any more tangents here, how about I talk these test rides here, and then maybe I'll go on a little more tangents while I'm going to the next place. So you'll have the Karen Previan, that's one of those like 17 to like 19 tuner vehicles of the game. Rapid Dominator GTX, which I think is one on a discount. I think all the other ones actually are not on a discount. And then the Innis Remus, which again will be one of your like 17, like 19 tuner subclass vehicles. Which for those two means you can use them in like your street pursuit races and like robbery contracts, like any of the like tuner particular like content kind of stuff. So I'll kind of talk about them a little bit there, even if they're not on a discount, perhaps. But yeah, Karen Previan, tuner subclass vehicle, as I mentioned here. One of one to like 1 to 3 like coupe tuner vehicles in the game. There was actually 2 more coupe like tuners that were added with the Criminal Enterprise DLC, but those 2 like newer like coupe tuner vehicles actually were not as good performances to Karen Previan. So between the 3 like coupe tuners in the game, this is actually your best performing one here, so that's pretty good. Probably not going to go into particular numbers because I'm already going to have to talk about a lot when it comes to like the tuner subclass side of things, or enough at least. But yeah, for street races, pursuit races, it's a coupe, so it's not going to be that great for those per se. And yeah, for your robbery contracts, it's not going to be like super top tier for like a robbery contract or anything either. I don't really recommend it for any of the actual tuner content. I don't even really recommend it for its unique classing, because most of the tuner vehicles in the game are sport cars. If you want something different, then I do highly recommend the Previan if you just want something of a different class for the tuner subclass. Cool thing about the Karen Previan as well is it's actually a nostalgic vehicle from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. So it previously featured in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, so it's a very nice nostalgic throwback vehicle from that game. So it's definitely a pretty cool tuner to own, definitely. But it's not necessarily going to be good for any of your like tuner dedicated content per se. But it will be pretty decent for your coupe race. It will be pretty decent for your coupe races though. But because it's a tuner subclass vehicle, and I already talked about tuner stuff, I'm not going to talk about its performance unless some discount, which I don't think it is. I'll check though, I guess, here before I move on to the next one here. Alright, yeah. Previan does not look to be on a discount as expected. Tuners are kind of just here, I imagine, because it's the car meet was from the tuners update. But yeah, Rapid Dominator GTX here will be your next one here, and this one will be in the muscle car class. I think this might have been from like one of those like Diamond Casino updates, either Resort or Heist, if I recall right, from the update it introduced in or something. Either way, it's not going to be a tuner subclass vehicle like those ever do, so it's not going to be as useful in some sense, at least. And this will be a 30% off discount. So at least the version over here will be $507,500. But it might be a little more than on your typical website if it has like a livery or something on it, which it doesn't necessarily seem to have, but yeah, not the most sure per se. I'll go over the performance of it right now on the muscle car class from roughly 152 spreadsheet. They're Vapid, Dominator, GTX. That is apparently in the C tier for muscle car class, so C tier, not necessarily the worst, but also not anywhere near the best either. And that would be at least the 16th place lap time. That would be before the Drug Wars update, and then 46th place top speed. So yeah, even before Drug Wars, it was outside of top 10 for both lap time top speed. So this isn't really a performance muscle car here. Not going to be one of your best not going to be one of your better performance powerhouses here. The next here will be the Innis Remus. That will be one of your many like sport like tuner subclass vehicles here. So I'll pretty much just stock the tuner subclass stuff here, especially just on a discount. Keep it a bit shorter. So yeah, being a tuner subclass vehicle, you can use it in your like street races, pursuit races, like robbery contract finales and whatnot. You might be able to put louvers on this vehicle. I forget. I did own one at one time, but I don't think I ever like fully customized it or anything, and then I ended up getting rid of it for better tuners. I think it was like a prize ride or something on like the initial week of that DLC release or something. But it might be able to have louvers on it, so you might be able to have like back protection for your like robbery contract finale, so it could perhaps be slightly useful there. But even then, there's other vehicles with louvers that are better performance anyways, so it's not really saying too much. And then as far as I remember, it's not one of your better performing like street or pursuit race vehicles either. Pretty much your number one lap time, I think, would go to like the Sultan RS Classic, and even then that also is pretty like average top speed as well. So your Sultan RS Classic would be your like better lap time option for most street and pursuit races. And top speed, as far as I remember, goes to like the Jester RR or something like that. I know I just mentioned number one options, but I don't think it's anywhere within like the top like couple or few or anything from what I recall either. So yeah, it's not going to really be that great. Honestly, the only one on discount isn't necessarily that great, like I mentioned earlier. If there's one vehicle that's probably most worth getting over these three, it's most definitely going to be the Previan, even though it's on full price right now. So I don't necessarily recommend picking one up though. And next will be your Bravado Gauntlet Hellfire for the prize ride. And prize ride challenge here. That will involve the Pursuit Series, which is those 4+ player races. And then you have to place top 3 for 3 days in a row. Not only do you need the top 3, you also need the 3 days in a row. With me doing a stream on like Monday, that basically uses like the exact 3 days left. If you start it on Tuesday, you might be able to finish it still, as long as you're like doing one like very early on Thursday before the tunables change or whatever. So today or like Tuesday, pretty much your last possible day. And then your pursuit races, they're very easy to find. You just find it in races, and then it has pursuit race, followed by hyphen, followed by unique name of said pursuit race. And yeah, all of them will be your 4 to 16 player count. But yeah, free. That basically gives you like a 75% chance, as long as you're playing with the bare minimal of 4 players, that basically gives you at least 75% chance to get some sort of entry into that challenge for each day. Now, of course, there's a good chance you might perform the worst and stuff, especially like a street race, like a street race. But yeah, I don't know, if you're dedicated enough, I imagine it should be easy enough to do it. But yeah, now to go into performance, see if it's even worth doing said challenge in the first place. Auto Gauntlet Hellfire will again be another muscle car, obviously, here. Big Gauntlet Hellfire. Looks like just like the Dominator GTX, it will also be a C tier muscle car. It's even at the bottom of C tier, so it's almost even D tier, so it's a little worse than your GTX even, at least for lap time. And your lap time will be 23rd place at best, which is not good at all, and then at best it will be a 7th place top speed though. So top speed looks like it can still be pretty decent still even. I think there's still more muscle cars to be coming out in the drift feed as far as I know for the Los Santos Drug Wars DLC. I think there's a muscle car coming out still. At least one, maybe even a couple. I kind of forget, but I did a video on all that. Because it's pretty common knowledge if you look into it and all that. So if it's 7th place before the, like... If it's 7th place before the, like, Drug War DLC came out, then it's still pretty decent. I think the only one that released on day 1, I think, was the Tulip M100. And even then, I think that the Class A Tacoma Coupe came out a little later. And those weren't necessarily very top tier options either. So I assume it's still a 7th place top speed there. And yeah, that's if you're on like 9th gen, where you also get the HSW vehicles, so it will even be a bit better on 8th gen. But yeah, it still has some pretty respectable top speed, I would say, so it could be kind of worth going for. Honestly, I feel for the challenge, it's not really too worth it. I want to look at the price of it actually to see like if it's worth it even then. Because it might just be better to purchase it, honestly. Alright, looks like it's a $745,000 vehicle. It's not too bad. You could probably just do one heist for like an hour instead of doing that, like, very, like, convoluted kind of, like, prize right challenge. So that's cheap enough to where it's not too much of a drop in the bucket. Oh, whoops, I actually did not realize I did that there. I don't know why I was holding buttons like that when running to him, but yeah. Your HSW test ride to start around, go to the Shitsu Octo Drag. In my opinion, this is actually your best possible HSW vehicle you can get, at least for performance. The only other runner-up I would say would maybe be your like weaponized Ignis, but that would be more for like a combat situation where obviously no other one's going to compete with it when it comes to other ones not having mounted weaponry. Yeah, your Octo Drag being a motorcycle, it's not a big car. You can get a lot of good use out of your crazy top speeds and like accelerations and stuff like that. So it's pretty much your top tier HSW vehicle in my opinion, and like realistically speaking. So obviously it's a very good buy there if you're on a 9th gen. That's pretty much any HSW vehicle is. But yeah, now to go over to the luxury autos. And I'll actually be buying the new vehicle over there, by the way, because you can actually get the new Powersurge over at Luxury Autos. So I want to go for the particular build that's over there. Maybe. I don't know. Might not be the greatest if you decide not to keep the livery, if it has a livery on it even, but yeah. Pretty much any of the newer vehicles in the game do pretty much all have liveries, so pretty much no matter what, from my experience. Yeah, I think I've probably been in the lobby by now for like 20 plus minutes, so I should probably be able to start being able to get this. Even though it'll probably not happen again for the third stream in a row. But again, if you don't get it, just lobby hop and like public sessions, just being like the certain radius you need to be in. As I was kind of mentioning earlier, because I showed I have the pistol now. But because I was just getting so tired of not being on the live stream. I do like hour-long live streams, so I've obviously had pretty good chances of trying to get in. But yeah. Your luxury auto vehicles this time around will be Progen GP1, and then your Powersurge, the new motorcycle. So you can get a very particular build over here if you want to, instead of like choosing one of like 8 colors on like a website. And the Progen GP1, I think it's on a discount, definitely. I think it's on a 30% off discount. Alright, yeah, your Progen GP1 is on a discount, so we'll be going for the performance and stuff on this one. Can't really show the like name there, but whatever. I'm not gonna super care for that right now. But anyways, I got going Bruffy 132 spreadsheet here again. Go over to GP1 here for performance. Yeah, your Progen GP1. That is in the supercar class, and that will be an E tier supercar. E tier would be pretty bad, just being like right above F. And I'll be a 45th place at best for lap time, and then 33rd place at best for top speed, which is both below average for the entire class. So you're not going to want this thing at all for performance. So I highly would not recommend that vehicle. And yeah, your brand new Powersurge here with some certain particular build on it. It looks to have like a brown or like a bronze or something, as far as I can tell. They don't really go over like the colors and stuff anymore on these vehicles like they used to, but yeah, looking like a brown or like bronze or something to me. Looks like a pretty interesting build. And you can't normally choose those colors, obviously, for the website. So if you want those colors to start, then definitely go for here. Hard to say if that part on top is a livery or not. Either way, I'm going to be getting this build now. Make it more interesting to start. And yeah, acceleration. Acceleration's top of the line there because it's an electric vehicle. Electric vehicles do actually prioritize an acceleration. So that would be one huge advantage here to Powersurge compared to other motorcycles. That insane acceleration. And yeah, top speed, that's pretty accurate kind of as well, I would imagine, because yeah, top speed is not that great on the electric vehicles. The main thing with them is good acceleration, but piss poor top speed from my understanding, from what I've heard from Bruffy 1322. actually have to make room here, I think, actually, for it, because they still didn't release new fucking garage space that's coming out for the Drift of course, So I actually gotta sell something, I think. So I have to look for something to sell here, so it might be a while, though.
You need something, huh? One of your rides? Let me know.
I think I've been selling through Office Garage free lately, because it's not finalized with Garage or anything. Wagner, I think, is actually used in Transform races, and then the Frankenstein is like Halloween vehicles. I think I might be actually going through. And then these are in like alphabetical order here or something, so I think I clearly have like a theme going for this one. Or the Office Garage 2, whereas this one I think is just whatever, really. Currently. I pretty much all the stuff in there I kind of want in some capacity at this point. God, I gotta really choose something to get rid of here. Cause it won't release that damn garage space. Alright, yeah, I got this one like alphabetical order and stuff, so I got a theme going there, definitely. I have a bunch of day one vehicles in this one because there was some like day one vehicle like support on like the after hours like DLC. I do my garage themes and stuff just based on like DLCs and stuff, by the way. It's kind of basic for me, really. I can get rid of something there now. Indicator's got like the curves boost on it, and I actually don't have. And I actually do not have the fucking. What's it called? I don't actually have Electro, so that's my only curves boost vehicle. I'm not getting rid of that one. Easy Classic, I think there's the Easy Classic races. I actually think they brought them back as well, so let's use more of that stuff. Sovereign, that's the Intensity motorcycle. Varus was a free vehicle at one point. I don't know, all these I kind of want to keep. But yeah, I don't know. I know this is a crazy decision, but I'm actually choosing the Infernus Classic. I'll explain it as I take it over there. Gotta get rid of something, unfortunately, because I'm pretty sure all my space is full. I'm not gonna, like, buy the vehicle in, like, a second character that I, like, almost never touch. But it's pure white and stuff, so I clearly didn't customize it or anything. But if I want to see the Infernus Classic, I'll just play Vice City. That's basically my reason for selling this one here. I know people are probably gonna hate me for selling this or so many other things, but my garage is my choice. Like I said, I'll just play Vice City if I wanted the Infernus Classic here. God, I'm just gonna sell this shit for full value. Might have been a podium vehicle now, so I don't even know if I can sell it for anything. So I don't want to pay for this damage and fuck that. I know it's only a minuscule amount, but fuck it. I'm recalling that shit. Oh, I can't, I gotta wait, that's bullshit. Oh, I did just request it recently, to be fair, but whatever. I swear they need to release that fucking garage space, though. So I have all mine pretty much filled the fuck up. And again, that's on one character, because I don't really care to play on another character. I have another character, but I've never really put much time into a second character. With the couple I've made, every second character I make, I just never bother with, to be honest. It's not really much of a reason, in my opinion, to play on a second character. Again, you can definitely get extra garage space swapping between two characters, but I'm just stick to my main character. Because I already grinded this game enough for one character, I'm not grinding the game again for a second one. But yeah, I'll just put Vice City if I want to see this shit. I know you can't customize in Vice City, but I don't really care, to be honest. I just want something to get rid of. And most things actually have a reason to keep, even if it seems like an oddball vehicle to keep or something. Yeah, I'll just show. Yeah, I have stock lights on it, so I didn't really customize it at all. Alright, yeah, it only sells for 3,000, so it's definitely like a podium vehicle or something anyways. So I clearly didn't buy it on hand. And yeah, for those curious, the price of it on the actual website here, 1,605,000. Definitely no trade price. I swear there's a no trade price or anything. Okay, this one is a little bit more, so you might have a livery on it to start, so keep that in mind, because you might not want to purchase it if you care to save that a little bit more. If you think you're going to be changing the livery, if there's one, which I imagine there is. Not as daytime and I can see a bit better, I assume there's some kind of livery on there. There's kind of a little bit of white on front, it looks like. And then I think there's like black somewhere on top or something. And I'll go for Nightclub Garage free again. Or that one, right? Yeah. Basically the third Nightclub Garage I meant, since it's already two, I meant the third one down. Okay, the last one. 50,000. I'm just waiting for Powersurge here, and that's why I recalled the Subaru. I've been in the lobby. Might be cutting it near the time. I don't think I've had utilities yet though, so I want to do the MC real quick. I just hate paying fucking so much fees for the biker businesses though. It's still like 20,000. Was like 30,000 flat out, but I think it's more like 20-ish thousand now since they reduced it in one of the updates or something. Yeah, I didn't hear any sound whatsoever. Again, it's electric though, so that makes sense. yeah, silent motorcycle. First electric motorcycle apparently in the game. I love it. I like stealthy, silent sounding vehicles, so I'm already liking it, to be
What can
honest.
the best mechanic in LS do for you?
Okay. 20 options here. Some will include stuff like the bombs and stuff that you can buy and stuff, I think. Definitely that might be more of a car thing, actually. But either way, if you're in different, like, garages, there might be less options depending on, like, what is and what isn't available. Wow, 24,000 armor. Certain bikes, I think, can actually have, like, $50,000 armor, so it's actually pretty cheap for the armor there. Body work. But yeah. Some people might not like this, but if you want that traction bonus, you have to do the one bodywork option there is. So yeah, if you're going to keep it stock, you won't get the traction bonus. Keep that in mind. So you have to choose this one option here for traction bonus. For some reason, so it kind of acts like a spoiler for the bike here. Like a future side fairing. Like there's like arches in it or whatever. Definitely. Okay, that's a little bit of difference on the brakes there. $10,000 brakes again. I think that's way cheaper than your usual brake upgrade there, so that's cool. Which is unusual for a newer DLC vehicle, where they pretty much always have it for 50,000 and stuff. I think for newer DLC vehicles, for some reason this one seems to be an exception. Engine. Then again, a really good deal on that, because I think sometimes it can be like $33,000 to like $35,000. But yeah. For some reason, some of the bikes in the latest update actually have cheaper like engine modifications, which I ain't complaining. That's definitely quite nice. And no engine sound stuff whatsoever, of course. Oh, okay, that's right. It's called explosives. So yeah, obviously in certain areas you won't be having that. Fairing, definitely your most customizable option here so far. Stock fairing, delete the plastic, clean stock one, which with the case delivery on there, it seems you get a full stripe on there now, so that's cool. Glass fairing. Gives you fairing with glass on it. Nice and stylish. Vented glass fairing. Cool. And then extended glass fairing. Doesn't really seem to extend the glass part, I mean more like the plastic parts there. Electric power fairing, and then, whoa, electric future fairing. Definitely matches pretty well with the other future thing for the bodywork there. Definitely like the futuristic looks that you can do here, and definitely choosing that. Frames, just get stock, primary, secondary. Looks like it might be like a carbon or black plastic or something to start. One of those 3 or 4, whatever all. Well, Might as well go to secondary. Frontline guard, stock, primary, secondary race. Again, it's probably that same like color or whatever that the other thing was. Yeah, primary front even gives it a little bit more livery, it looks like. That's cool. At least for the one that's started on here. Secondary front and a race front. Basically, it looks like it's an enhanced version of stock, essentially. It's basically that same looking color, it looks like. Definitely like the race front here. Damn, front seat has 16 options. God damn. That's a lot of customization for a motorcycle. Let's first one option here. Stock seat with pattern. Alternate stock, also with pattern. Vented alt stock with pattern. Extended seat. Basically just adds more coloring, it looks like. Interesting. The seat itself doesn't necessarily seem to be extended, just some coloring, interestingly. Extended seat with pattern. Whoa, back padded seat. Makes it all nice and pointy over there, that's cool. And you can even add the pattern to that as well. Nice. Ribbed seat. With pattern. Chopped seat. It makes it even smaller. Holy shit. Pattern. Whoa, stick seat. Kinda like how pointed up it goes and stuff. With pattern. I don't really super care about cosmetics much, so I'm just gonna choose my typical bottom option here. Built-in. Probably some of your more customization options here when it comes to the amount of options, at least. Okay, stock tank alternate actually seems to add more livery to, or it might just be more white, but it seems to match up with the livery and whatever that's on there. Clean stock tank. Not really sure what that does. Maybe I guess there was some lining there or something. I don't know. That's what it looks like to me, at least. Holy shit. Straight tank. Oh. Gives a nice bit of buffiness there, it looks like, or something. I don't know. Cafe racer tank. Interesting. Classic tank. I'm not really sure what's so classic about that, per se, but okay. Not saying it's not, but still. Ooh. Here's where it definitely gets more interesting. Power tank. Gives it some stuff like beneath the seat there, and that's cool. Looks like some more livery support or something. Whoa. What's the cool? It was the coolness on the back on the electric feeder, but ooh. Looks all nice and sleek on there with some panels and shit. Similar to first like bodywork thing, what I have to do for the traction bonus. Definitely doing that makes it look a little bit armored, kind of in a way. was I like the first electric motorcycle in the game apparently, so and then just one loop definitely one of my favorite ones. That doesn't cost like almost $100,000 as much. Like being a bike, you obviously won't be getting underglows. You'll just get your headlight. I do have the car meet though for the colored ones though. Okay, livery. Okay, it is a white stripe. I kind of figured once it was daytime and I was actually able to see it. And then 11,400 for no livery. Who the fuck's gonna do that, bro? I don't know, just probably people would do if they decide to want to clean look or something. I don't know. But then you wouldn't buy it from the luxury artist in the first place, though. Okay, black stripes, everything but black, white. You can get a little like Western logo there. Gives a bit more of like an official look on there because there's not really that much Western like. There doesn't really seem to be any Western badging much on here as far as I can tell beforehand. So it definitely gives it a bit of personality, which is nice from the manufacturer. I like it for that sense. Oh damn, Love Fist. That's a cool like company in there or whatever. That like band from Vice City. Bunch of skulls on there. Pretty decorative too, given it's a motorcycle, and there's kind of a limit to how much detail can be on here. Lost some sea. Seems to only have a gloss like text on there. Definitely pretty cool if you want to go for like a Lost some sea kind of build. A bit of rust could be pretty interesting, but then I could kind of make it a bit more of a lame livery because, in my opinion, some of the rust liveries are some of the worst. So I'm kind of glad they actually kind of didn't do rust. But yeah, it's definitely more simple than this previous couple, I feel. Dazzle camo, that definitely covers pretty much the whole bike here, which is definitely cool. Ooh, a shark mouth camo, you get like a whole ass camo on there, and then some shark mouth, cool. Gives it an alive kind of feeling there. Makes it look like some animal or some shit. Gives them definitely one of the more minimalistic liveries since it's probably lost some seed, definitely. Has some like Japanese kind of text or some shit, so that could be interesting. Maybe makes it look like a fucking rice rocket or some shit, I don't fucking know. Okay, this one actually has some Western stuff on it. Western classic, okay. The other one's like more of a modern one, okay. It seems. Yeah, Western classic, is it some classic Western kind of like logos it looks like? Trying to see if that also says Western as well. Okay, no, it's like a oil kind of company or something, it looks like. Oh yeah, I can zoom. Demon oil? It seems okay, interesting. I'm not sure why that's paired with like Western stuff, but okay. At least it gives it a little more detail, I suppose. Classic Racer gives them like Hawking Little, Redwood. You can get Redwood on the front, that's cool. Awesome. A little more on the minimalistic side, if you will, compared to stuff like Sharkmouth Camo and like Dazzle Camo, and definitely, but yeah. Definitely a pretty alright one regardless, I would say. Whoa, Patriot. So you get some white and blue. I don't really seem to see any red on this one though, which is kind of interesting. Seems instead of like red stripes, you get like your primary color or something now, so at least you can customize that, so that's cool. And then Patriot All, actually. You get red and white, and then it looks like the stars don't have like the blue around them, so then you don't get the blue. This one's blue and white Patriot, and then this one's like red and white Patriot, it looks like. Okay. Definitely some more interesting Patriot alt colors, I feel. A lot of the Patriot ones I don't think allow you for much color. A lot of the Patriot liveries tend to be pretty detailed and don't necessarily allow for the most color as far as I know, so that's pretty cool to see. I'm definitely on that Patriot alt here. Mirrors, stock, and then race. As well. Right. I took Leon Black with the text I have on there. Which is more for my PSN, not my YouTube birthday, by the way. Okay, primary and secondary mudguard options here. You don't get like a better like version of stock, it seems like you did for front nose, so it doesn't make it as easy to match with the front one if you didn't want the stock one for some reason. So maybe if you wanted to match, you might want to do another primary, secondary on front. I need secondary and whatnot. Primary spray, primary, secondary crew, being a motorcycle, you're obviously not going to really be getting the trim colors and stuff, probably. Seem like very much out of place. Crew emblem there, why not? Oh damn, it's a gold, okay. I was thinking more bronze. I was slightly thinking gold, but I don't think I brought it up when guessing the color it was. So, classic gold primary. And a frost white on the secondary, okay. Gives it like a white gold build, which is kind of cool. I think white gold might be a color I know like pink gold is. I'm not sure about white gold though, if you fared. Oh well. I kinda like the theme that's already on there, to be honest. But there's already a white with the livery, so maybe I'll swap out the white. Maybe I'll just do all gold for my primary and secondary. Maybe I'll upgrade the gold to like a million gold or something as well. So I'm a big fan of the gold on here. I think it can definitely be better. I don't know, maybe I do, like, maybe I'll keep the primary gold and then I'll do secondary on like the million gold or something. Or the pure gold or something. So maybe its primary is like more of a fake gold, but secondary has a little bit of actual gold on there. See a little bit on that mudguard back there. Signs for that, I think I'm mainly just seeing on the C. I think it would be your main example on my build right now. I don't know, I'm a big fan of the new, I'm a big fan of the new chameleon colors, though. At least my secondary, I'll do the nice gold pearl. Yeah, it's the only gold one on there, definitely. Yeah, I guess I would just keep primary as the more regular gold, why not? Go for a slightly more unique gold build than I usually do, definitely. CJ I use like pure golds and stuff. I know it might be kind of like a boring, like rich life kind of build or something. I don't know. Fuck it, why not? It's my vehicle. I'll do what I want with it. Okay, so that's for respray and just sell, and then wheels. And if you do a glass one, you might obviously have like a window option, but yeah. Wheels. Let's see, what's this one called again? Western Powersurge motorcycle. So I want one that's like W or P, I guess. Why not? Because I always do off like the name of the vehicle for some reason. Because I don't like super care for what rims I do. That's how I do them for some reason. So yeah, I'll go webs. Even though it's more like Christmas festive, not like Halloween festive right now. But vehicle is more like I'll probably be getting more permanent use of it, obviously. Just not on that one side, it looks like, okay. Custom or proof. Oh yeah. Obviously in single player you can pretty much always do the Patriot tire smoke, but obviously has more fun depending on online. So unfortunately you can't really do the Patriot tire smoke. For normal means at least. So I got my next best for the yellow tire smoke to go with the gold colors I did. Definitely. Yeah, pretty quick vehicle to customize. Maybe I took a while with it, but definitely a pretty quick one to customize it compared to your average vehicle being a motorcycle, obviously. With not that much, that, with not as much detail that can be put on it. So obviously, if you're not big on huge amounts of customization, this is definitely pretty nice. Yeah, I swear it's definitely a pretty fun drive though. Having a stealth fucking motorcycle and shit tight as hell. Finally a stealth motorcycle in the game.
Whatever.
Come on, Cockstar, where's my fucking engine rev? God fucking damn it, you know. Obviously. Yeah, there. Do my golden shower light to go with the gold. very shiny stealth motorcycle. Why not? With Patriot shit on it. Fuck yeah. It's my build, I guess. That's my purposely crazy wacky build, I guess. I don't know. Headlight seems kinda iffy. Kinda looks like a pretty regular standard light. Would've been cool if it had some futuristic-ish, like, headlight to it. If not, like, default, and then, like, obviously have, like, a customization for it, which they don't have headlight customization. I'm pretty certain, obviously, it did not. You know, I just customized it and everything. So, I don't know, headlight's pretty disappointing. If it also adds something that's a little bit disappointing, definitely. It's kinda, like, niche complaint to have, though, to be fair, but, yeah. But, yeah. Not going to take off anywhere near as instant as your HSW Cyclone 2, for example, even probably the regular Cyclone 2, possibly even. Yeah, that's a HSW electric vehicle, so that makes sense. From what I heard from probably 1322, though, it is actually like your number 2 accelerating vehicle, so it's like right behind the Cyclone 2 HSW at least, from what I've heard. At least that's why I remember him saying on his video, at least. But yeah, it's probably the best accelerating motorcycle, definitely being the only electric one, apparently. So that definitely gives it some interesting usage. So you already had like rocket boost motorcycles, so with the oppressors, especially the Mark 1 oppressors, it's not the biggest deal, I feel. That's still very nice if you don't want to use an oppressor. You have another very quick motorcycle to quickly dip out of like a combat situation or something. Acceleration can definitely be better than top speed in some cases, like not like quickly dipping out of a combat situation probably. I don't think I mentioned this one yet, but according to Profi 152 actually has the most powerful engine. I actually think I might have mentioned that one, but yeah. Has a pretty high drag value though, so it does kind of limit it though. Yeah. Vehicles like the Pariah and the Weevil Custom, I believe Profi 152 mentioned, do have like pretty high like engine values and then also pretty low drag values, which explains why those two have like pretty good top speed. But of course, the thing is this is an electric motorcycle, so it's most definitely not going to be great top speed. I mean, yes, it can still be pretty good, but obviously it's not going to be your number one, or maybe not anywhere even close. Maybe like in the top like, few or something, maybe, I would assume. Again, there's no actual performance from Bruffy 152 to go over yet. You went over like facts about the vehicle. He didn't fully performance test just yet because of snow, as I mentioned earlier. And yeah, the video mentioned something about like digital and like analog, like accelerometers and whatever. I assume analog obviously is like the ones with like the different dials and stuff like that. Digital would probably be one like this, obviously, if I go in first person. The like 0 and stuff there. I assume that's definitely a digital one. Apparently digital ones are actually pretty accurate, so it should be a pretty accurate reading. But yeah. According to roughly 152, the top speed is actually higher in snow and like rain and stuff, from what I've heard, so don't trust that as your top speed just yet. Maybe wait for snow to go away and then make more of a true judgment for top speed. But yeah. doing front leaning, I think he said something like 130, like 140 miles per hour, but again, that was in the snow, so it's going to be a little bit less. So maybe like a 130-ish mile per hour without wheeling. That seems like it should be pretty okay, alright at least. Even if we're on an electric motorcycle. For lap time, you're not really going to necessarily get too much of a good lap time right now. Of course, until the snow goes away, given you have to do all the cornering and stuff. And snow makes that pretty more not as easy to do. Yeah, I'll do time trial run in a bit. I just kind of want to explain it because it's distracting on my time trial run. Doing it otherwise. And yeah, on a wheelie. Oof. Okay. That was a big mistake. I meant to kind of be moving more than do that. Yeah. But yeah, again, I was mentioning like front on the stick or something. But yeah, like most vehicles, it seems you're pretty much going to do backward on the stick for your best possible speed. Roughly 1322 did actually compare this to the like Reaver when it came to going back on the stick, so that means it can definitely have some pretty good potential for top speeds, even being electric on like a wheelie at least. As soon as I can stay pretty consistent on that back wheel, definitely. Oh yeah, look how good that's staying on there. So it might be kind of like your Manta Scout and stuff. Might not be able to stay on a back wheel as good as like a Manta Scout, but definitely still pretty good, it seems. And yeah, I don't think you get, being electric, you also don't get things like transmission and turbo. You don't get some of the like huger engine upgrades. You don't have to pay much for performance upgrades. So mainly engine and brake. So you save that bit of money not having to do like turbo and stuff. Being electric, you don't have as much of those engine upgrades. So in that sense, it's pretty cost efficient aside for the like $1.6 million price tag. But yeah, I think I'm actually kind of like liking this more than the Shotaro now, even I don't know. Because again, it's pretty niche, pretty unique motorcycle with the acceleration focus. And first electric one, apparently. But yeah. I think he was comparing it to the Reaver because it also gets like a good like top speed benefit when you do like back on the stick. Most vehicles don't necessarily benefit too much when it comes to a wheelie, but ones like the Reaver and then it seems this new Powersurge do actually benefit a lot from the wheelie. So definitely be wheeling as much as you can. I know it's pretty self-explanatory in this game, but it has some of the most benefit apparently. And yeah, as far as I remember, that's kind of all. I feel that's the most worthwhile mentioning from Roughly 152's like fact video or whatever about like the Powersurge, whatever he called it, I forget, but it wasn't your traditional like performance test kind of thing that he does. Right now, I think it's definitely time for the time trial here for the test track, see how it does here. And yeah, obviously this isn't a very serious test, I just do it mainly to show off the vehicle. I don't feel I get to show off the vehicles too much unless I do something like this, so that's mainly why I did it. I'm not doing a super serious test or nothing. Yeah, pretty instant, yeah, let's go. Damn. Not using control acceleration shit. Holy fuck, though. Holy shit, let's go. Under a minute. Okay. I don't think it's gonna beat the drag HSW. That's my personal best, by the way. I think it's the hot dog drag HSW, but yeah. It can do pretty decent compared to it, though, definitely. But yeah, I might not have been doing the greatest early on, but I think eventually on the later parts I did pretty decent there. I don't know. Maybe with someone more skilled in driving that shit and all, maybe. Cause like you have to do a lot of like turning stuff in the car me and stuff, so I don't know, maybe it can have potential for one of your better runs in the test track, definitely. But yeah, what did it say here? Because they got a new car me red model here. Red bomber jacket. Or leather jacket. Or bomber, I mean. That shit is like the second last one on there, let's go. Last one's at fucking 600, goddamn. That went pretty cool. Forget how much I had to spend on it, well. Yeah, what a reminder that I definitely want to be showing off that New Year clothing stuff. Which I've yet to do. I mean, obviously I should know what's in the news section, but I mean, like on the actual character. Dress my character a bit more festive finally. I got the vehicle out the way finally before I get too distracted from the vehicle or something. Not sure which way I should go, probably that way. Pretty much have like all the glasses in regular clothing stores, so it might be a while, I don't know. But yeah, I should get there, okay, good. Alright, I think it starts here. Golden ear glasses, I know it's nighttime, so it's not going to be the greatest view, but I don't care, just want to show them off in some classy silver. Rainbow. Ooh. I pretty much have all the fucking like regular clothing store hats at least. That might take a while. I forgot to show off everyone's, but yeah, that might happen while I'm doing this anyways. God damn. It's gonna take a while at this point. could maybe just go to a clothing store, but like Christ, I would kind of overall just be quicker here instead of taking a trip over. But okay. I think I'm in some of those arena ones that might be like 2018, 2019 and stuff, if it goes by year and stuff or something. Alright, looks like I finally got them. I think so. Yeah. And the green and reindeer one was definitely the last one. Was definitely the previous one. Yeah, it was definitely yellow holly, I guess Morgan said for the new one. Wait. Huh? Okay, I guess I just didn't put one on permanently, I guess. Okay. Yeah, it must have just been me doing that. Rainbow doesn't remind me of Pride, so I don't want to fucking do Rainbow. I'm doing gold and go with my bike. Let's go. I don't really think there's anything else to show. I don't think so. At least I can think of it. There, that's my build, I guess, for the New Year gift stuff. That's one of those, like, paprika things or something that they did with Colonel Enterprise, with, like, the buried stash stuff or whatever, I think. And I don't want to interfere later if I go for Whistle Plaza again, but yeah. So, in that case, I'm going to be checking it and make sure it kind of doesn't interfere with that, hopefully. Wait, what the hell? The map's all covered in snow, I guess. Okay. First time seeing that in snow, I guess, because obviously I came out, like, in, like, the summer and stuff of this year. Alright, this bike here apparently reduced me down to 39,068,843. But I'm trying to think what else now. I think I'm pretty much trying to talk about some discounts and money opportunities and like discounts and stuff right now. I think I'm doing next year, definitely. Oh, and yeah. I might have forgot to mention something about the Fulgen jobs, but it's not something Rockstar mentioned, but it's something that the community is mentioned, like the GTA communities on like Twitter and shit. But yeah. From what I remember hearing, to complete 25 Fulgen jobs for the LS smoking jacket, apparently the clothing item does not exist on the 8th generation version for some reason. So either they forgot to add it for the 8th generation version, apparently, or like for some reason it's exclusive for 9th gen. That'd be kind of weird for a little clothing item, but never know. That's something I've heard at least is the 25 Ogun job reward actually does not exist on the 8th gen version, which is kind of good because then you would only have to do 10 if you want all the clothing. At least that's what I've heard. Not sure if it's true, but I wouldn't doubt it, to be honest. All the Rockstar like mistakes and shit they do and stuff. Oh yeah, wait, I thought those Simeons starting. That's right, luxury autos had the Powersurge, that's right, so I still haven't got the Simeons yet. I still have to do that here. But yeah, that was something I actually forgot to mention about Fulgen Joss. Apparently, a smoking jacket does not exist on 8th gen from what I've heard.
Your girl got bugs all over her ass.
And yeah, I don't know if I mentioned a date on some of the festive stuff, so I'll do that right now, just in case I didn't. I don't necessarily think I did though. But yeah, the rare Los Santos snowfall and holiday themed festivities are still going strong in San Andreas through January 11th, so yeah. Snow might be a thing till January 12th this year, which might be the longest it's definitely went for an entire year or so. For the early parts of snow in 2023. So obviously will happen again later in 2023 at the end, but yeah. So yeah, the Gooch, you'll have to January 11th to take out the Gooch. I do not recommend it though, because apparently it's pretty low spawn frequency and stuff, from what I've been hearing and whatnot. So yeah, if you want that huge match for some reason, you got till January 11th, if you get lucky enough even. And yeah, 25 Snowmen, that will go till the 11th as well, obviously. I already did a whole stream on those. And obviously just everything's out there anyways. And I'll get you that 125,000 at the end, as well as the other 125,000 for just 125. And that's Snowman outfit. Okay, yeah. It does sound like that Weasel Plaza free mode event will be going away on on January 12th. But yeah, January 12th, it seems it's going away for the Weasel Plaza free mode event. Not that it's really the most frequent spawning thing anyways, but again, like I mentioned, just hop in different public lobbies, be somewhere near the spawn location. Make sure it's nighttime in your game though, because as far as I know, the server, the time of the game stays consistent between every single server, so you need it to be nighttime in your game for it to be nighttime in anyone else's game. So those are my tips for trying to get the WM25 pistol for the WM29 pistol. That is, if you're struggling to spawn the event in invite only with 20 plus minutes and all the bare minimal requirements it has. And yeah, the Season's Greetings skin actually didn't show that yet. I do have it again because of the public session hopping I was doing. But yeah, Season's Greeting, that's what that looks like. So that will be till January 11th to 12th as well. For the Die Hard themed weapon livery, assuming that's kind of a thing in that movie or something. If not, then it's obviously some sort of festive livery for your pistol Mark II. And it's like first person look of that WM-29 pistol. As far as I know, you might be able to get it through the upcoming gun ban that they've teased pretty trivied on Rockstar Newswire. We had Rockstar Newswire when they first released the DLC. They hinted at a gun ban, so that might be able to have your WM-29 pistol if you don't get it through the free mode event. So you might still be able to get it even after January 1 for the pistol. It's just a free mode event side that seems to be going away. So it's just your typical like silenced pistol. Literally its only attachment is a suppressor, no other attachment it has. For those wondering, there's no other attachment on it. So as for a suppressor, it should just be like tin and stuff as far as I know. Yeah, just shooting the simians a little bit, why not? I want to go over some vehicle stuff in here. Again, I haven't done that yet, actually. Because I was customizing the Powersurge, which is that luxury out as they had Devin and did as well. But for the vehicles this time, looks like this Camacho, Carrying Vita GTX, Coil Brawler, Manufacturer Dubsta 6x6, and then your Nagasaki Outlaw. Quite a few off-road vehicles, and I think just the one sport car here for the classings and stuff. Some of these will also be on discount. Looks like your Camacho Futo GTX and your Dubsta 6x6 will be 30% off. So it looks like the Brawler and then the Outlaw will be your regular priced ones here this time. And yeah, I forget if I do any of the test ride stuff anymore. I don't really necessarily think I do anymore. I did with the Chrono Enterprise because it first released for the Premium Deluxe Motorsport and that update. But so I don't have to like constantly like mention stuff of it I might not know. Because it's hard to talk and drive in the game, I feel sometimes. The stream is already 2 hours at this point almost, so. Alright. So I'll start with the Knis Camacho here, and that will be off-road, as most will be. Yeah, your Knis Camacho should actually be pretty good from what I remember. And yeah, I'm on it right now, kind of on Bruffy 152 spreadsheet. But yeah, according to Bruffy 152 spreadsheet, your Knis Camacho here will be at the way bottom of S tier between the free S tier off-road vehicles in the game. Being S tier at all obviously means it's pretty damn good. So definitely a high recommendation. So your Camacho will be a third place lap time, and then that will also be third place top speed as well, apparently. So for Camacho here, you're actually getting number 3 for both. So you're getting the top 3 option for lap time top speed, and that's definitely very good. And yeah, 30% off. This thing actually isn't normally that expensive, I don't think. So 30% off price here, definitely pretty nice. Only 241,500. Next up will be your Karen Futo GTX. And this, again, will actually be one of your, like, tuner subclass vehicles, if I recall. This is definitely not tuner. It's definitely the tuner, like, Futo here with the tuner subclass. So it can be useful in robbery contracts if it has like louvers that you can put on the back, but if not, then it probably would definitely not be using it on your robbery contracts. And even then, you definitely have better options for your robbery contracts anyways. It's not going to really be strong in that department. Lap time. I don't recall lap time being that good at all on this one. So it's not going to be a very good lap time tuner vehicle here. And then top speed. It's actually a pretty alright one for top speed though, as far as I know, for the tuner subclass. So its strongest department should be in top speed, but even then, like I mentioned earlier, your Jester RR is your number one top speed. Could be like top couple to top few top speed options for the tuner subclass, if I recall correctly though, so it could be pretty decent there. But yeah, top speed is pretty niche though, so for like the tuner races, like your street races, pursuit races, and even then again, you have better robbery contract options. Doesn't really do anything too spectacular, so I'd probably skip out on this one though. But yeah, it should be on a 30% off discount. So if you do want it for any reason, it is on a discount. Next here will be the Coil Brawler. Probably not going to spend too much time on this one, given it's not on discount, but yeah. It's from Ill-Gotten Games Part 1, which was like a mid, like 2015 DLC, and that was also back when Story Mode also got vehicles in the game, so you can also get it in Story Mode, so it's kind of a waste of a garage space. But I do think it's actually still okay, at least, and like average, decent at best for like off-road races. Not anything as crazy as Camacho, obviously, but it can still be kind of usable, if I recall, in off-road races still. And yes, I think there's one off-road vehicle in the drift feed, but it doesn't seem like it's necessarily going to be that off-roady compared to some other ones that are already in the game. But your Brawler... Yeah, Brawler's still pretty good top speed, actually, for the off-road class. So if you did want to end online, it's actually pretty good in top speed for off-road races if you're in a pretty huge, like, straight off-road race. Something else interesting about the Brawler, though, is I believe if you go in water with it, the vehicle will actually, like, raise up, I think. It has a pretty unique trait where the vehicle will actually raise up if it's in, like, water, I believe. So that gives it a little more, like, water survivability compared to your average vehicle. That's a unique trait to it. So yeah, even though it's not on discount, it can still have some uses here, even though it's also in story mode and therefore also a waste of garage space though. That's pretty much everything I can think of mentioning on that. Benefactor dubs to 6x6. Should be on 30% off discount, it seems. Yeah, I think this one's normally like 200,000. It's only like 170-ish right now, and it's pretty decent price-wise. But yeah, this was a 2014 DLC vehicle though, so it does mean you can indeed get it in the story mode now. So because you can get it in story mode, it's technically a waste of garage space, just like the Brawler here. So even on the discount, it's not really that recommended, I would say. The off-road here. Depths to 6x6. For performance, the depths to 6x6 is an E tier, apparently. But yeah, E tier would be pretty bad. Top of E tier for off-road class. That makes it a 22nd place lap time and then 14th place top speed. So, yeah, not getting good performance anyways, so yeah, it's mainly just a waste of garage space given you can just get it in story mode anyways. So I do not recommend that one even on a 30% off discount. If I recommend one on the discount, it's definitely the Camacho here. Between the vehicles here. And last but not least, Nagasaki Outlaw. Not on discount, so I'm not necessarily going to spend as much time on this one. I'll just see real quick, maybe if it's kind of worth it at all much. The Outlaw's at the top of D tier, which makes it a 13th place lap time, and 30th place top speed. So yeah, your Outlaw, it's not on discount anyways, so that's another reason just to not bother with it. So yeah, wouldn't bother with the Outlaw at all. Outlaw is definitely going to be your worst option, given it's not even on a discount and it's not good performance. You know, a top 10 for both lap-time top speed. The main recommendation goes to the Macho here. Between discount options, I feel maybe the Depsa 6M6 could maybe be kind of better off than the Futo GTX. And Camacho is definitely your number one discount, maybe number two discount would be Futo GTX, and then your number three discount ranking them would be the Depsa 6M6. Again, not on discount, pretty good here. If it's one to absolutely skip, then it would be this one though. Alright, so now that's all the showrooms and stuff, so yeah, now I'll probably be talking money opportunities and discounts now. That you have to talk about.
Oh, come on, last night was off the hook.
Alright, I gotta analyze these money opportunities real quick before I go into pause menus and stuff and explain them and stuff. Okay, so there's ROM contact missions, there's smuggler cell missions, drop zone. Gotta go over a bunch of returning game modes actually. Given this was the event that's like went into the beginning of January, and basically each month they re-released different adversary modes that were previously vaulted, but they unvault them essentially. Okay, so there's kind of a lot to mention because of the returning modes to talk about as well. I'll start with the ones on the pause menu, just be able to simpler to explain stuff, since I can show it with more like image kind of stuff to show with it, I guess. Okay. Contact mission, adversary mode, more adversary modes, and there's some race stuff as well, it looks like. Okay, I think I'll start with some of these race things, but yeah. All of your special vehicle races will be back, so that'll include your deluxe or special vehicle races, or the Rockstar Creed Sun races. Izzy Classic races are back. Stromberg being a special vehicle race, I am back. Thruster. Huh? They said all special vehicle races, I thought. But it only looks like the Doomsday Heist special vehicle races, not the import-export ones. So yeah, your deluxe, so that was from like Doomsday Heist. Yeah, Izzy Classic was that. Stromberg was Doomsday Heist, and then yeah, Thruster was Doomsday Heist. So they say all of them are back, but that's not actually true, and there's import-export ones that aren't back. Like your Rocket Voltic, Ruiner 2000, and... What was the other one they do? I think they... Not Rambogi necessarily. Ruiner 2000, Rocket Voltic, and what's the other one? I swear there's pretty like other ones they do as well. I don't know, maybe it's Rambogi, I don't think so. Oh, Blazer Aqua, okay, yeah. Yeah, they didn't return Blazer Aqua, Ruiner 2000, and Rocket Voltic, yet they claim that they returned all of them. So that's not even fucking true, to be honest. That's a fucking lie. That's a goddamn lie in there. Which is why they should divulge it in the first place, because you can never bring them back properly, I guess. Without missing something, perhaps. If they said Doomsday Heist Battle Vehicle Races, that would actually be accurate, but it's not. Yeah, ROM contact missions again, those would be like your 2x RP contact missions for the week. That includes Space Invaders. Crank up the volume. Aim and run. Feeling the flames. Landing gear. Romance isn't dead. Carbine. White workers, and I think that's gonna be it. So you get less than like 10 contact missions. ROM doesn't have the greatest variety per se, but yeah. Space Invaders is a pretty interesting one. I think this might actually have been one of my highest like recommendations when it came to my contact mission content episode. But yeah, I do a series called Contact Mission Content where I kind of like go over all the different like contact missions, like strategy and stuff like that. I think Base Invaders was maybe my best one if I remember. It's been a while since I watched it or something, but yeah. Base Invaders is a pretty difficult one. It's like infinitely like respawning enemies, so because of that your time on the mission will probably be quite a while, and therefore kind of makes it one of the better paying ones here. So even though it's a pretty difficult one, I do think this is definitely my recommendation here if you're going to do any of them. We had contact missions. They normally pay like, I feel like they can normally pay like 10-ish to like 20-ish thousand dollars, and like on double that can maybe like 40 to like 50,000 around there. So you can definitely make some okay money on them. But there's definitely better stuff I'll go over later. And yeah, wrong contact missions does make perfect sense given this character came back with Santos Drug Wars, so obviously they were going to choose Ron for the first set of contact missions to put on 2 times money for the Drug War DLC. But yeah, it's quite the, I don't know, all those missions kind of play out different. I have all kinds of strategies on that like video thing I mentioned. Not gonna know the most on what to say with that per se now. Alright. But yeah.
Let's move on. Okay.
Your first adversary mode that's brought back and is 2 times money RP for the week here will be Drop Zone 1 through 5. where you jump from aircraft parachute to ground, the control drop zones. Doesn't makes a very fun mode going off the ratings apparently, but yeah. Powersurge modes. Okay, it's a 4 to 16 player. It's not one of those like 2-player adversary modes. The player requirements are more strict, so it might be harder to get into lobbies and stuff if not many people are playing it and whatnot. I don't know. It's more of like a deathmatch mode. It's not like a vehicular related mode. I feel modes of like vehicles tend to happen quicker, whereas like a deathmatch kind of mode, I feel it tends to last longer. So I feel time-wise it can last longer, and therefore you can kind of make more money. As far as I know, adversary modes and stuff mainly rely on like amount of time and like the amount of rounds you can do. So sure, on like a full like thing of rounds and stuff, if you're on like the winning team and your team does pretty good most of the time and stuff, you might be able to make like a couple 100,000 at most or something. It's definitely a better way to spend your time, as I'll go over later. But yeah. Motor Wars is also back, and that's a pretty interesting one, because it's like the Battle Royale kind of mode. Battle Royale is kind of like the most oversaturated like genre of gaming, I feel, but it's a pretty fun mode. I definitely think it's a pretty fun one though. And yeah, the interesting thing about it is it goes up to 28 players, which you don't usually see in like an adversary mode even. So being a battle royale kind of mode, you can obviously tell it's kind of that with the crazy player requirement on there. So because of the crazy amount of players, that probably gives it some of the most potential of an adversary mode to make a good bunch of money on it. So that is definitely a good recommendation there, kind of, especially when it's not like a money opportunity, if they do that. And then running back, regular running back here also returns. And yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like a football themed like mode. It's kind of a mode themed off of like football or something. And yeah, it's a vehicular kind of mode, so I feel it tends to be one of the quicker ones. Motor Wars is kind of definitely and like vehicular kind of stuff though, so I feel running back's kind of probably the worst of those ones brought back here, if I were to guess. And you only get like free map options anyways. So you have like the least map variety on that one. So that's my thought of the returning game modes and stuff. That's my thoughts on that all. But yeah, wrong contact missions can definitely be pretty okay. I would definitely recommend wrong contact missions over the adversary mode, definitely, for money making. Since you can do them by yourself and whatnot. Oh, speaking of wrong contact missions, I want to go over another strategy as well. And that will involve playlists, if you want to make a contact mission playlist. But yeah, you may think you can go on mission, but that's not the case. You see like different adversary modes and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, you'll see like adversary modes and like different arena modes and stuff like that. If you go through mission, you don't actually get contact missions in mission. The way you do get, but yeah. The way you do get contact missions that you can then put into the playlist is you have to recently play them, like the different like community races I've played recently, for example, those show up there. So as long as you play a contact mission for the most part, aside from maybe certain story-related ones, then you should be able to go and recently play a job and then make a playlist. You just gotta play each one like a single time then. Or you can also go on like the Rockstar like social club, I think, and then you can like download someone else's playlist if they have one of like the wrong contact missions. So if you have one you really like, or if you have like multiples you want to play in like one like set and stuff, then that's a good way to make money with the wrong contact missions, is making a playlist there. And yeah, one last money opportunity to go over, and that will be a business this time around. Yes, I said a business here, so that's good. And it was the one that was buffed lately, the one of the two, the one that was especially buffed of the two. And that will be your hangar business here. So yeah, your hangar is on 2 times money in RP. And it's been made even better with the latest update, because every single like crate is normally $30,000. Before it was Santos Drug Wars, you would get like $10,000 per crate, which wasn't that great. But yeah, they permanently tripled the amount you get per crate from 10,000 to 30,000. But now you're getting double on that crate, and now you're getting like 60,000 per crate, which is pretty insane. So yeah, $60,000 per crate, and those crates, you just earn the crates, you don't even pay for the crates like you do for a special cargo. So you don't even pay for the crates either, you just collect them even. That's pretty good. And yeah. Main problem with Hangar though is it's not very solo friendly though. Because yeah, if you're one player you're just getting one crate. If you have 2 players you get 2 crates, 3 players for 3 crates, and then 4 players and onwards get 4 crates. And that's the absolute most you can get in one mission is 4 crates. So to maximize on the business, you definitely want to be playing with like 4 players at least. But yeah, 4 players are most definitely going to want your help as well though, so it's not really the greatest way to go about the hangar regardless. It's probably the least like friendly business in that sense, definitely. And yeah, for solo sales, I've heard recently for solo sales you want to actually have like 10 crates. Anything over 10 crates, and then you can also get multiple delivery vehicles. And as a solo player, you probably don't want multiple delivery vehicles. So to ensure the best chances of getting one delivery vehicle, you want to stay within 10 crates. Which on triple with the, not triple, with the triple crates they did with the Drug War update, plus the 2 times $60,000 per crate, that's like 600,000. That's pretty decent, actually, even still for solo play for the event. So yeah, with the crazy buffs on Hangar, very good. I do highly recommend it for the event while it's 2 times. And yeah, when you're doing 10 crates, you're not going to be getting that much like crazy like bonuses or anything. So then you should probably also alternate between 2 crate options. Narcotic, chemicals, and I think like medical supplies might be the other one that's like the best of the different crates. So those are your 3 best crate options. So I would choose one of those I would choose two of those three. I mentioned they're probably like narcotics and chemicals I would recommend. Or a couple of your best value ones there. So those are the three that sell for the most.
Scandalous, bro. I try and ball out, but they just look for something better.
I think that's kind of the best I can mention with that all.
I don't know. It's like I flash some chips and they want to know what I do, who I
Trying to
know.
think if there's anything else I can think of mentioning. But yeah, I think the solo play strategy of being within 10 crates is definitely pretty decent, especially with it being like 600,000 right now. It's pretty respectable money right now. Because of all the recent buffs to it. And yeah, for Hangar and LSIA and Fort Zancudo are honestly pretty fun options, I would definitely say. Honestly, I recommend Fort Zancudo though, because obviously you get the low level clearance, and then you get like another whole like area in the map that you can explore as long as you're not causing problems and stuff. LSIA does have its advantages though, because then you can spawn aircraft inside of LSIA and also like other vehicles and stuff, I believe as well, like personal vehicles. But yeah, Fort Zancudo lets you just same, but Fort Zancudo. So if you want more spawn convenience at the airport, then yeah, LSIA can be nice for that, but obviously mostly recommend Fort Zancudo Hangar. Between like the 5 different hangar locations and like the 2 different areas. But yeah, for the first time ever, Hangar is definitely a very insane moneymaker for once on a money opportunity. $60,000 per crate, very awesome. I think I've mentioned just about everything I can think of mentioning about it.
That ain't good.
But yeah, Smuggler Cell missions is definitely your focus that you want to be focusing on for money making. Nothing else for the money opportunities will compare. Contact missions maybe would be the next closest thing to compare for money opportunity on 2 times and everything. But I feel aside for drop zone money opportunities are definitely pretty alright. And yeah, from there, just discounts it looks like. And I'll do like regular and then HSW time trials.
garage. You, need me to bring you a ride? It's on the way.
But yeah, regular time trial definitely pretty easy with that HSW outdoor drag. Really any good top speed motorcycle like your Western Rebirth and stuff certainly as well. As I was mentioning near the beginning. Probably go over discounts first and then go over an HSW time trial with the Entity MT. First time I'll be doing that, I was in for Entity MT, HSW time trial. But yeah, did that there because yeah, someone was in my way. Didn't realize someone was in my way there, so I kind of had to just do a time trial there. Because the house setup and house setup's pretty shit, unfortunately. Yeah, now I should be able to go over some
Don't come for the credit,
discounts.
later. Totally.
Yeah, starting with property discounts here. That will be the hangar if it weren't very apparent yet. But yeah, 30% off hangars, so 1.2 million hangars, 840,000 hangar, which should be your absolutely cheapest hangar. And yeah, there's another one for a little over a million there. Can't show that one because I own it. 2 million for a 3 million hangar, and then like high 1 million there. So you can definitely get upwards of almost $1 million at 975,000 savings there. Quite nice. A 40,000 entrance fee for a hangar, definitely quite nice. And yeah, modifications, upgrades, 30% off as well. So cosmetic style, lighting, floor graphic, furniture. The ones that really matter to are the living quarter and the workshop. But yeah, living quarter, that will be what allows you to spawn inside of the hangar. Hangar is a very good spawn location because you have access to like upwards of like 20 aircraft that you can put in the floor and the storage. So you have access to so many aircrafts, I definitely think it's one of your top tier spawn locations. I'd probably call it a top 3 spawn location, definitely. Maybe even like your number 1 spawn location. I don't know, I think hangar and like Kazaka are definitely some of the better spawn locations, in my opinion at least, because of all the good air vehicle access. That can be pretty crucial for different like remote stuff. So air vehicles are pretty much your best vehicles in the game. And yeah, I actually get back to that real quick. I don't know why I did that per se. We had a workshop that will allow you to modify your aircraft. For your like whatever run onward aircraft, you can do like engine upgrades and like weaponry and stuff. Pretty crucial for any aircraft or smugglers running onward. Older ones, you're really only getting like respray and like livery size for the Cuban 800, where you get like bombs you can use. So you can get quite the new utility for your aircraft with the hangar workshop. So both are high recommendation for the renovations here. And yeah, already explained how the business got buffed with those Santos drug wars. So hangar is even more worth it than it was in previous updates, and the business side is actually pretty good now. Speaking of the business, I'm hearing you can make like $8 million on a like full like 50 like narcotic sale, for example. So you can make some insane money. You can make like 6, 7, 8 million apparently on the hanger with your maximum sale on like one product for like the maximum bonus. But I was wondering what the full amount is. But yeah. Solo sale, you want 10 crates again, that will be like 600,000. Still very respectable regardless. And yeah, you can just bounce back and forth between two types, and you have two things of 10 crates to sell as well. So doing it like that, you can make a good like 1 to 1.5 million, maybe in like, maybe little to no time even as well, especially if you're doing it with other players. And then you get off to then do it solo or something. The hanger is like a good bit even more worth it now because of the drug war update. And the rest should be vehicle discounts. Alright, I don't see any when it comes to Arena War. Doesn't look like any on Benny's either. I think there's just one on Elitist. Yeah, and that will be your Howard NX25. So, might as well do that right now and talk about this one here. We had a Howard NX25, that's one of your like newer planes from like Smugglers running onward. Which means if you have the hanger like workshop, then you can modify with like engine upgrades and whatnot. Unfortunately though, I don't really feel it's that worth it. And yeah, the $975,000 normally is if you have the trade price for it. It definitely has a buy now price, which most definitely puts over $1 million normally. On trade price, you're saving a little over 300,000. Not necessarily the greatest. And yeah, again, it's a newer aircraft, so it's not a Pegasus vehicle, so you have to have a hangar for it. And yeah, since you only have 20 hangar slots, it's not really too worth it. Because you cannot weaponize this at all. Yes, that is correct. You cannot weaponize this thing. Maybe before the Kanata, since I think before that there was like exactly 20 like modifiable vehicles. Before the Kanata, I feel was slightly worth keeping it, but I think when the Kanata came out, I ended up selling mine, so yeah. It's not weaponized, it's a non-weaponized plane. I would much rather have a non-weaponized helicopter, because helicopters can be spawned much more conveniently. Helicopters have a lot more usage than planes, typically, since they hover and they don't go like all horizontal, crazy horizontal like planes do. But yeah, helicopters are easier at landing and stuff is basically what I'm saying there. So yeah, being a non-weaponized plane, you have to store in the hangar. In my opinion, makes it one of the least worthwhile planes of the entire game. So just not too worth it, unfortunately. Alright, looks like just one more to go over on the legendary that's yet to be covered. Technically already showed up when I went over the adder, but I was going over the adder obviously earlier. And And yeah, that will be your Grotti Stinger. So like 850, that's like 595,000. That's like $255,000 in savings. Not really the greatest for a day one vehicle, I feel, to be honest. That's mainly because every single vehicle discount is 30% off. There's no differences in discounts, so yeah, 30% off is kind of great for a day one vehicle. And yeah, I'm not going to go back to the elitist website and go over performance on the Howard NX25 though. The Howard NX25 though is actually number 2 lap time for the plane class. And it's actually number 5 top speed apparently for the plane class as well for the Howard NX25. Yeah. Planes go into air though, so you actually mainly want top speed, I would say, for a plane. So yeah, Howard NX25 performance-wise. Obviously, those numbers are pretty good, but yeah, again, it's not weaponized and stuff though, so I don't really feel it's too worth owning that plane regardless. So I'd forgot to go over performance, it's not weaponized. We have Sport Classic here for the Stinger. Gotta go on to roughly 152 Super G for that. Bitcoin roughly 152 Super G. The regular Stinger is a E tier Sport Classic vehicle, which makes it 27th place at lap time at most, and then 23rd place top speed at most as well. There's like 46 in the game apparently, it looks like. So yeah, it's barely above average at all. For like 24th place top speed would be below average for both lap time top speed. But yeah, I definitely wouldn't bother with this one at all. It's clearly a day one Sport Classic vehicle. It's not gonna obviously be that good. And yeah, even though it is an older vehicle, I think it's only in the online as far as I know, so it is actually exclusive to online though, I think. Which is kind of weird, but yeah. And Warstock here is a couple, I think. At least. Okay, that's a few actually, even. And yeah, for Warstock, I'll go for weapon capabilities, not performance, obviously. Yeah, starting off here will be a Doomsday Heist vehicle, and it will be the Volatile. Given the theme of like planes and like the hangar and stuff, makes a lot of sense. On a trade price, instead of $2.8 million, that will be $1,960,000. That's $840,000, I think, in savings there, definitely. So yeah, that can be kind of okay. You can afford in like a couple, like maybe more like 2 heists instead of like 3 heists now. At least for the stock vehicles, so that's kind of nice. But yeah. Volatile is a huge plane. It's a very huge plane compared to most planes. It has 4 seats. Comparing that to like the Bombushka. Bombushka has 6. And I think the Alknos actually has the least between like the big planes of the game, which I think is mainly just free. Okay. So between the big planes, it's like in the middle in terms of seat capacity, so it's not the strongest in that regard. Weapon capabilities. weapon capabilities really aren't the greatest on it either. Has guns like the Bombushka as well, but the Bombushka guns are explosive actually. Yeah, Bombushka actually has explosive guns, but I'm pretty sure the Volatile just has regular like machine guns on it, so that's pretty trash. Regular machine guns that you need other players to use, and yeah, it's a big plane, big target and stuff. A bunch of ways that's not that great. Explosive resistance, I think it's pretty much the same on all three of those giant planes. It's pretty much like a couple missiles at most, and then it just blows up or something. So the armor is not that great for a big target. That's pretty terrible. Honestly, the hugest thing I think it has going for it is I think it's the only aircraft in the game with 100 bombs instead of 50 bombs, which is kind of crazy to think about. I don't think one plane in the game has more than 50 bombs. That's quite terrible. And it's this big ass target that's going to be getting hit so easily if you even try to use those. But yeah. The machine guns, which is probably going to be your most accurate weapon, requires other players, and they're not explosive like the Bombushka guns. And then, yeah, as for that, it's got 100 bombs, woo. And it's a big target. Yeah, and this vehicle basically is not good at all. You can't really grind much with the plane either or anything. Again, you only really have bombs, and then you need other players for those guns, and they're not going to really be doing much unless it's like an air vehicle you have to take out or something, perhaps. I do feel it's worth one of 20 hangar slots because you do need the hangar to even own this aircraft at all, so I feel it is one of the more worthwhile aircrafts to use one of your 20 slots on. But yeah. But yeah, if you want to collect all the planes in the game, definitely worth it if you want to collect all the planes and all the like weaponized vehicles in the entire game for collection sakes at least, but otherwise not really gonna be that great. Pretty trash discount there, unfortunately. Aside for collection sakes again. Next up will actually be a much better plane in the game, and that will be the Pyro. Instead of $3,350,000, it looks like on trade price that will be $2,345,000. Looks like it's $1,500,000 off or something, 5,000 or something. So yeah, you're getting a pretty solid discount on the trade price even. And yeah, Pyro, as far as I know, Pyro is basically the fastest jet in the entire game. And yeah, jet, that would be like your Hydra, laser. I think B-11's a plane, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, Pyro is more like a jet. Like the laser, Hydra, laser, like Pyro. I think between like all the jets, it's definitely the quickest. I also believe it's the only two-seater jet in the entire game, because again, jets are different than planes. Obviously, they're the ones with like the purple flames and shit. Probably, basically, is kind of the best way I can think of describing it, at least. But yeah, I don't think the Pyro has bombs on it, but that's fine. Bombs aren't really the greatest, like most useful thing, especially on a plane, anyways. But yeah, it does have machine guns. They're not special machine guns. Unlike another vehicle I'll be going over later, they're just regular machine guns. So yeah, the machine guns aren't really the greatest on this one for the machine guns, yeah. But yeah. It has missiles though, and their missiles, they have no cooldown on the pyro, so I think you can spam the missiles like most of the newer vehicles in the game, which that's an advantage over another vehicle, and that's on the screen right now. So it has missiles that are infinite, and it's the fastest jet. That's a pretty damn decent grinding vehicle there for certain things of content. I would say for general grinding, I think a helicopter is definitely better. But undeniably, it's very good. Of everything I mentioned, I think that proves it's pretty good. And yeah, I think the professional leaving that on was like top 10, not 10. The professional, a pretty huge GTA YouTuber, I think did a recent like top 5 of like vehicles you should own in 2023, and the Pyro was on there, and I very much agree with that. When it comes to game vehicles, a variety that is. Yeah, Pyro definitely can be pretty nice for your hangar missions and stuff. Next will be the Rogue here. Instead of 1.2 million on the trade price, it'll be 840,000 on the trade price. They're getting $360,000 off there. Not that great, but the plane's already pretty cheap, so that's decent. And keep in mind, this is a weaponized plane that you're going to be able to get for under 1 million on the trade price here, and that's pretty damn impressive. But that also means it has its drawbacks as well. For starters, it has a couple machine gun options, which is kind of its main strong point. It has regular machine guns, it starts with regular machine guns, and then, yeah, regular machine guns obviously won't be that great. But you can upgrade them to explosive cannons as well. But the explosive cannons aren't the greatest either, though. Like, yes, they're explosives, they're some of the better machine guns of the game. But it won't compare to your, like, Savage and, like, your Hydra and, like, Laser. Yeah, Hydra, it's not gonna be as good as those cannons. Not as good as the Savage cannon, and that's on a helicopter where you can get better precision most of the times, even in some cases. Despite all of its advantages. Despite all of its disadvantages. And yet a Laser. Those are the 3 vehicles with the best explosive cannons in the game. So it won't be as good as those, but hey, at least they're explosive cannons, though at least they do a lot of damage, at least, compared to your typical machine guns. That's a huge plus on the Rogue there, it has explosive cannons. And then aside from that, it does have missiles. I'm not sure if this one has bombs, actually, I'm not too sure on that, but even then it doesn't necessarily provide that much more compared to its other weaponry I'm talking about. And yeah, it does have missiles, but unlike the Pyro missiles, I'm pretty sure they have a cooldown, so they're like a buzzard missile, so yeah. But yeah. So that basically means every 2 missiles you have like a few seconds of wait on the Rogue. And yeah, the Rogue's a 2-seater plane, so that's something, I guess. So yeah, the capacity is just as much as the Pyro, that's something nice, it's not just a 1-seater. But yeah. Missile cooldown kind of sucks on it, but it does have explosive cannons. I do think it's very nice. I do actually think the weaponry can be kind of better in some ways than the Pyro, but again, you want infinite missiles that can lock on the targets and stuff. So, Pyro does slightly win in that regard, I would say. But this one definitely has its own unique uses here, so definitely a high recommendation there. Definitely better than Volatile, despite being significantly cheaper. And then last but not least will be your Blazer Aqua. And on a trade price, instead of like 1,320,000, it's 924,000. So I think that's $396,000 in savings. So almost 400,000. So you can get the vehicle under 1 million right now, which is nice on the trade price. And yeah, for weapon capabilities, it only has machine guns on it, but you're on a vehicle that's pretty exposed, that has like no cover at all on it. So you want to be pretty open to like oncoming fire and stuff. I mean, at least it is weaponized with machine guns, but not the greatest. And yet the boys are aqua, so it can go in water and stuff. It's amphibious, so that's very cool. And yet in the special vehicle menu as well, so you don't have to go through the mechanic to call, you just go for your like interaction menu, which is nice and convenient for the boys are aqua, so it does have that bit of spawn convenience. Yeah, for money making, it's not going to do much of anything for you, again, given you're very open to oncoming fire on like an ATV here. And yeah, being an ATV, you want to be leaning forward for your best possible speed, by the way. And yeah, it does have its own money opportunity, but it's not really that great either, though, I think. I haven't really played it much, so I wouldn't know the most, but just reading it and stuff, I think it makes sense. But yeah, at least it's soloable and like ramped up amphibious assault, so at least you can do it solo. So in that sense, it's kind of a better moneymaker than those, in a sense. But yeah, you have to collect cargo crates on the land and sea, and you have to use the Blazer Aqua, at least according to the description of it. And yeah, that thing's not going to get to like one point of the map to the other in like a very quick time. It's nowhere near the like quickest vehicle. So yeah, that just doesn't sound like it's going to be all that great of a money opportunity. So yeah, it's not going to be the greatest money opportunity, but yeah. It gets stored in your vehicle warehouse though. And your vehicle warehouse pretty much has to have the Blazer Aqua because it only has like 8 very unique slots for 8 very particular vehicles. So you might as well buy the Blazer Aqua so you actually maximize on your different like ownable like, vehicles in the game. So it definitely could be a worthwhile purchase regardless of how much you decide to use it. Just to have every vehicle slot filled up. Yeah, I think I pretty much mentioned everything I can think of on Blazer Aqua and all those other free.
I gotta go take a shower, because I'm looking at a dirty piece of shit.
Nothing on Dock T, so it looks like anything else would be on 7 San Andreas then. Alright, it looks like just a trophy truck I gotta go over then. Alright, now I'll be off-road here. So a Vapid trophy truck, saving $550,000 will be $385,000. I think that's $165,000 in savings, not the greatest, but it's already pretty cheap anyways, that's to be expected. So yeah, I'll go on Profit 132 spreadsheet, go over the performance here. But yeah, according to roughly 132, the trophy truck will be an A tier off-road vehicle. It will be at the bottom of the A tier between those three vehicles, which gives it a 6th place lap time, and then it will have a 6th place top speed as well, actually. So they're getting within top 10 of top speed and lap time, so very good. Not your greatest off-road discount when there's stuff like the Camacho on discount right now, but very cool. Something funny you can also do with the trophy truck is that you can actually drive along those like yellow like stick-up things on like the highway on Fort Zancudo. And the trophy truck's surprisingly fragile, so the pieces will come off on it, so it's pretty fun to just cruise around in it like that. It's pretty fun. But yeah, that is it for the discounts for the event. Now to do NTMT, just so we control on the snow here.
What you need, boss? Some wheels? I can bring them round. I'll bring it to you.
And yeah, NTMT is the brand new HSW vehicle from the Santos Drug Wars DLC, for those not the most familiar with it, especially if you're on 8th gen. Oh, and yeah, on stream I couldn't beat the one like last time trial on like the Sterling GT, but off stream I did actually beat it, by the way, for anyone curious. See, I did it on stream, I couldn't do it, but off stream I decided to try more, and then eventually I did do it. It was like down to like the last second or two. It's pretty insane with the Sterling GT and the snow and everything. Yeah, first run for the NTMT Supercar for HSW version on the Contrail here. I'll be using it for probably the next like 7 weeks or something as well for the other HSW Contrails too. But yeah, this one's mainly good for top speed. Lap time on the other hand's not anywhere near the greatest, unfortunately, even for HSW. God damn, this fucking snow. Yeah, fuck the snow though, making these contrails more difficult. But yeah, for supercars and top speed, I think only the Devastator 8 is better than this one for HSW Supercar. And yeah, for HSW Supercar, I think this is like a 19th place for general lap time for the supercar class. That's not that great lap time at all, but thankfully for HSW contrails, you mainly need that top speed and stuff, certainly. So it could definitely be a pretty good option though. It's not better top speed than like your Sterling GT and Vajero CX though, given it's not the best like supercar HSW top speed though, apparently. So it's definitely better general top speed options. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking here. I meant to do another run, but I just kind of didn't for some reason. But now I think I'm done saying stuff about the DMT right now. Ah, fuck. Alright, I gotta redo it again, I guess. Oh yeah. Now I remember what I wanted to say now. Okay, the Entity MT is basically a better version of the Entity XXR. So it's basically a better version of that Entity XXR, which is already pretty good top speed from what I recall in the supercar class. That factor's not enough to make it better than Devastate HSW though, as far as I've heard though. So yeah, this one's in a very unfortunate circumstance for this new HSW vehicle. The Chrono Enterprise HSW vehicles are very impressive, but this one on the other hand, performance-wise, apparently not. Hopefully it's E-Rally, that's going to be an SUV for HSW is going to be an impressive one, hopefully. I don't really know about that one either, realistically thinking. Alright, finally I think here, yeah. Yes. Barely. Because of snow. Definitely. Alright, nightclub's getting near the end for that safe. Agency's pretty good. The arcade's barely there now. Because these streams take a while to go through all the information and all. But yeah. That is probably gonna be it for the stream now. Given how late this stream is because of holidays and stuff. Next stream will most definitely be GTA on Event Week stream. Unless Red Dead gets one first or something, I forget. I forget if Red Dead will get an event first or not. Whatever one happens first, perhaps. That will finally be it for the stream. Hope you enjoyed. Stop actually. Okay, nah, it's almost 6 o'clock there. Not gonna be able to get the Weasel Plaza in time. So yeah, that will indeed be it for the stream. Hope you enjoyed.